Hey, good Thursday morning. Meteorologist Doug Hetty want to update you on the pattern and what's going on across the region. We've had one storm system which has been rolling through, at least yesterday, also today, Election Tuesday. Kind of gloomy across the area. Temperatures back to where we should be for this time of the year. Yeah, last week we broke so many record highs, high temps into the 80s. Weather's actually been, well, boring. Boring for you. Well, boring for me. So boring for me means pretty good for you. So let me go ahead. I will show you what is going on. Here's our upper level map across the area. So this is one thing that I really look at to kind of figure out what the pattern is doing, what the cycle is doing. Now, remember the pattern, it is completely set. It's set about 3 weeks ago. It started to set third week of September and was completely set in the middle of October. Now the cycle, the recurring cycle, the distance between storm systems, that's how I long range forecast. That started several months ago in the middle of the summer. Now the cycle length is a little bit longer than what we had last year. Last year was a 49-day cycle. This cycle is just a little bit longer than what we had last year. So it's similar to last year's, just a hair longer. It's not an extremely active cycle. It's kind of boring. We're not going to have a very active winter. Last winter we had no winter. But we're going to have an average winter. We average here in southwestern Missouri about 16 inches of snow. So we're going to have an average winter. So we're going to have snow. We're going to probably have a couple ice storms. I'm kind of pinpointing all of those details at this point in time. It's just not a real active cycle. We don't have storm systems rolling through all the time. But we do have a few interesting things. So let's go ahead. Let me show you what happens over the next couple weeks. I'm going to go all the way into the weekend. I want to show you, see how the jet stream's way up in southern Canada still? We have this huge ridge. We can't get much to happen. We'll go through the weekend, all the way into next week. Still, the jet stream, the northern parts of the U.S. Until something breaks down, we're not going to have much action. That does not occur until late next week, when we finally get this storm system to drop down. That's the next big key, and this does not happen until next late Thursday, next Friday. Let me show you where that is in the cycle. So I'm going to move, let's see, let's move this guy around here. And this is that same system. So the system that drops down next Friday, it's this system back in the pattern or the cycle. This occurred on September 25th. So the system that moves through late next week is the same system that this was on September 25th. But the one that moves through late next week is going to be stronger than this and actually dig a little bit farther south, just due to the jet stream being stronger. At this point in time, then it becomes a little bit more active for a few weeks, and we'll see what happens late November and into early September and see if we can at least get a few storm systems rolling in. Also, let's look at this. This is called the AO, or the Arctic Oscillation. Last year, we had a positive AO. So here's the 0 degree line, this guy right here. So you can see in September, it was positive, positive, positive. Here comes October, it goes negative, negative, negative. Here's the projection, kind of goes back to neutral, maybe a little positive, and then back to negative. For us to get Arctic air, it has to be negative. For us to get snow, we want a negative AO. For us to get ice, we have to have a negative AO. Nobody really wants ice, but to get snow and ice, it has to be a negative AO because we get that Arctic air. Because the new pattern is set, and we've consistently had a negative AO, kind of shows us we're going to have a negative AO. So even though we don't have an active pattern, but because I see the negative AO, that means we're going to have a lot of Arctic air over the winter. So that's something I'm going to keep my eyes on, at least over the next few weeks. So I'm kind of pinpointing the winter forecast right now. I'm going to work on that. Not a lot happening over the next 10 days, but it will start to pick up. After that, of course, I'll keep you updated. Remember, my long-range forecast is right below this. And keep you updated and let you know what's going to happen. Have a great Tuesday.